Okay, welcome to a somewhat unstructured live stream about Sakai. Looks like the live stream is up, so we'll say goodbye to that and move it to a different little guy. There we go. Okay, so you know, I'm working through all my JIRAs, and I'm sprinting a lot on Sakai now. And I have been sprinting for a while. I don't get to sprint on Sakai all the time. I just happened to kind of decide that July was going to be kind of a Sakai sprint because I have to kind of get into it and understand things. And so I made a bunch of JIRAs. I looked at JIRAs. JIRAs have been building up, and I just sort of burned through these like sprint style. I mean, these are the fixed ones. I've been doing a lot of work, and I'm down to a couple of things. I got a few things I can work on. But I woke up this morning and I kept thinking that, you know, maybe there's this thing in Sakai called the EL Finder. And the way it works is, when you go into something like this, and you hit Browse Server, and you can look at all the things that are in Dropbox and forum threads. I don't have much in here, so resources. This is a way to mess with stuff, and I was thinking of putting LTI into here, and I might still do that. That'd be kind of cool. But then I was thinking about what I would do here, and the fact that this tends to want to pick existing things, and when you pick something from LTI using the shopping cart that I wrote a while back, I don't have it configured in. There's a step where you go from, in Sakai there's this notion of an installed tool, and then there's like an instance of the tool, and you can have one tool and many instances, and we call those instances, ironically, I called them content. I mean, if you look at the table, I called them ironically content. So you probably have seen me playing with these tables inside Sakai, the LTI tables. And so I got these LTI tools. I don't know if I just wiped out the database. So I got a tool, and then the content is what, it turns out that the content item specification came out. It was named independent of me naming this table, but I'd named this table long before the content item came out. And so these are the actual launchable things, right? You can't launch a tool. A tool is a configuration with a URL and a secret. But what happens is you've got to have a unique resource link ID in LTI for every little launch. And so if you're in Sakai's lessons and you're putting something in over and over and over and over again, each of those needs to be a separate resource link ID. And so if you're like adding an external tool, you can't, what's this? So, oh, this is just a tool. Okay, so this is what I do in lessons. When I click on this, it doesn't just copy the URL for the tool in. It makes a content item for the tool, and then makes a URL for that content item, and then puts that in. So in LTI, when you like say, I'd like to put that tool in, there's an extra step that has to happen. Right? And this includes maybe changing some things, and then boom, it's installed, and that hopefully should work. Yeah, it does work. Of course it works. I wrote that up. That's old code. That's actually Sakai. That might even be in 2.9. I think that's in Sakai 2.9. It's not as pretty as it could be. I prettied that process up. Certainly for Sakai 12, it's even pretty. So, but the point is that I can go down here, and so let's look down here in the content. So now there's in content, there should be 2. Come on. There we go. There should be, well, another one, right? And so I added this one. This is the one I added for lessons. So I got 4 of them. You see when I do this again, when I go into lessons, back to lessons, and add another external tool, this click says, make a content item and then stick it in. And so now I got 2 of these. These have got to go to the external tools with different resource link IDs. And here's the debugging. You can see this. Resource link ID, help me out. Where are we hiding here? So content:4 is that one. And if I go to the second one, now go to the second one and look at the debug data. This is content:5. That's resource link ID. Every separate launch LTI requires. So that there's one tool, but 2 content items. And you saw in previous things I was playing with, so you'll see there'll be a 5th one here when I rebrowse. But they have the same tool ID, right? And so there's only one tool, and these are like instances of the tool. Placements is another word we use in Sakai. Resource link ID is the LTI way of capturing this placement notion. Okay, so what I'm thinking about this morning is, let me go ahead and add to this. There are 2 kinds of tools. So if I look at this tool, this little zap tool is a normal directly launchable tool. Allow the tool to be launched as a link. Now I'm going to make a tool that's a learning object repository. It is a source of tools. So I'm going to call this one Python for everybody. Python for everybody. We'll give it a cart. http://localhost. For everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love that for testing. Secret. Oh, and I gotta make sure to allow the launch URL to be changed. And now I'm going to say allow this tool to configure itself and allow the tool to be selected from the rich content in it. The previous one had this checked, and now I'm having these 2 checked. Still have to build. I mean, this one works, but these two not yet. We'll see how I'll come up with a way to plug those into Sakai somehow. But for now, I'm thinking something different. Okay, so I've got this Python for everybody. And if I go back to lessons in Mercury, lessons in Mercury, now if I add content, you'll see that I got this shopping cart that goes off and selects something, right? So this is now in a content, this is using the content item protocol. And that's dang cool, right? And then I realized to myself that if I go over here and I do my new thing that I just added, it does go to do the shopping cart thing, but it doesn't handle the situation where I do in lessons where I can pick the other thing. And then I realized I probably should have wrote the same code or very similar code between the editor and in lessons. So what I really want to do this morning is explore what it will take instead of just going to the shoppable content items, but instead allow me to have a list of the local ones that are already installed tools and in fact replicate what I've got here in add external tool, right? External tool selector. I probably should have done this all along because I didn't realize I should have done that. Now this code here is sort of specialized, and so maybe I don't want to completely replicate this because talking to lessons has its own little kind of content item like protocol, and I'm sending stuff back. And this code, if I look at this code in lessons, it's kind of obtuse, but it all comes into this one controller here and a couple of velocity templates. So it all comes down, both the lessons tool, both this code right here. This is a helper. See, it's a BLTI picker helper. When it clicks on this zap or this, if you look at the URL, it's going to this basic LTI admin helper. You can look at the bottom of the screen there. And that code there is all in here in this controller. And then if you go into the picker that I built here, and I don't know, it's session launch data, it's the content item return is also this basic LTI admin helper. Okay, content item editor handle save, right? So what I'm saying is it's all in this file, and so I can both the because this code is a series of helpers. It's a helper to the text editor, and it's a helper to lessons. And so I just got to sort of borrow some of the code from lessons and put it in the text editor. I could, as you'll see when I'm going through this, I could try to make it do the same, but there's so many weird code paths through that lesson stuff that I just don't want to destabilize it. And the editor stuff is a little more elegant because I controlled both ends of the send to the helper and come back. Because I wrote the JavaScript that's inside the text editor that sends things and receives things, and it works quite nicely. And I like the text editor's model better because so we'll do that. Okay, so where are we going to go here? We got Sky running. What's awesomely cool? You know what? I got a whole bunch of debugging stuff that I probably don't need. Okay, basic LTI util. So let me just change the debugging for a second. Yes, I know. If I had a debugger, I wouldn't have to be so darn smart about this. So we're going to take this one, and if I just call this, I won't find that class, and then I won't get nothing. So I do want, yeah, that's fine. So I just don't want that basic LTI util. It kind of clogs up my stop, restart, so I don't have all start, fail. Okay, now I have plenty of time to get the restart done because now I am fooling around. Build editor. Content item. Do content item handle. Okay, so that's special. Oh, build CK editor panel context. I found my. I like my own code. I can find my way around my own code pretty fast. And sometimes I just put a println in, so I can it's like that way I see it in get diffs, right? And I can find it really fast by searching for the system println at the beginning of the line. I have a methodology that I've come up with, and it works for a hacker like me. If you'll see me live coding later in Python, I'm out of coffee. That sucks. See me later coding in Python, you'll see I do the same thing, but I can't put stuff in column 1 in Python. But yeah, I'll just, for me, I can program in Fortran in any language, and this happens to be Java, and I love Java because it's so precise, and that's good. Okay, look at this. It's also damn pretty. Okay, so see if these are selected a tool. What? What's this? Build CK editor. There's only one tool. Pick it. See if the oh, okay. Okay, if we have more than one tool and we need to select, we're going to do this. Otherwise, we're going to redirect. Do we post back to this guy? Only one. Huh. Well, let's see how that works. Let's go in here. Wait, I log back in because it just came back up. Let's go in here, put in a second. Good thing I sit on my laptop and have two app stores running on my laptop. Oh yeah, well, I gotta allow that title to be changed. I gotta go back and fix that other one. I need note to self. Where's a piece of paper? There's a piece big. Sanity. Check. Check boxes. In JavaScript. That's a note to self. So here's what I'm saying. This is what I'm going to do. So this is a problem I have because so when you're putting in a tool that is a selector, that's a store, you got to check this allow button right here, and you got to put this in localhost. Got it, and check this button. And I got instructions to do this, but they're so obtuse that I can't even remember them, right? And I have to go back and edit that one because I forgot to do it. So then, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Don't allow that to change. What I'm going to do after I'm done with this. Ooh, and I got a bypass configuration dialog option. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but whatever. Clickety, clickety, clickety. Boom, boom. What I'm going to do is when these guys get checked in jQuery, I'm going to like look at this and say if these are checked, these two things have to be set. And I can do that all in jQuery without changing my foo-rm. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. I'll do that later. This is the thing where you just wander around as a developer in your code and you don't have like a boss yelling at you. Go like, hey, you got to do sprint number 702. Yeah. I'm like, fuck you and your sprint 702. This is a good thing. It's a good idea. Developers are not stupid, okay? Developers love good user experience. That doesn't mean I don't like being told good ways to do stuff or learning from people. It just means sometimes we just sit around and relax and drink a cup of coffee in the morning at 9:31 and figure out a good idea. And then we just put it in. We don't need any approval to do it. Welcome to open source. Open source, rad. Okay, Jesus, slow down, Chuck. Let's see, I'm out of coffee. I'm in a bad mood. Okay, so I got to fix this second guy. And then I got to go back and fix Python for everybody and see the mistake I made, which I'm going to fix in an upcoming episode. I got to allow the title to be changed, and I did allow the URL to be changed, so I'm at least that smart. But I'm fixing that now in JavaScript. I'm in a bad mood. Okay, so what was I going to do? Go to the Mercury site now and go to assignments. No. I guess I can edit the Yada assignment, and I click on this thing and see the list, right? So what I'm going to do is this currently is a list that you can of the sources of content items you can select. What I want is I want Zap to also show up. Whoa! So this is editor select. Gonna have to fix that. See, in my code, unlike some of the code I was working on before, I don't table drive these. I just make this a constant. Now, if I wanted to make it a capitalized hard-coded constant, but at least you can grep through my code and find out what the name of the damn template is. So I can go over here and I can say find dot, and I don't hide my template somewhere else, .vm. And there it is. That's the velocity template. Why make this any harder than it needs to be? I don't know, maybe they want to be all flexible stuff, whatever. Okay. So set panel, CK editor, tool ID equals tool ID, get tool ID. Okay, so I'm going to send in. Okay, so what I want to do is go tools content editor. Ooh, yeah. T. Minus R. Weak. Star. No, I gotta go up one because that's in a service. SR star group. Okay, so that is service. It's nice not having a supervisor. Get tools content editor, get tools LTI link, get tools launchable. Okay, so I want to get the tools that are launchable. So, I built this API and I think it's pretty. Get tools launch. I think it's a pretty API because I can do a lot of work pretty fast. Launchable tools. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay. If there are no so if there are no tools at all, we'll tell the user. Okay. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so we'll have to figure out. Running more, we're gonna to know we're going to be auto launching. See if the user selected a tool. Okay, so now if we okay. 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 I want to write this. I want to test everything I've done so far. I've written so much that I want to test it. So, but I don't want to drive through and run into that bad code. I'll figure out. That's not hard for me to write this code that goes here. I just don't want to write it this second. So I'm just going to compile this. Even though it's only take 15 seconds, I'm going to get some more coffee and I'll be back. I'm going to be gone next week, so that will help. I'm leaving Saturday. So we got to get it. Oh, I know. If you want a hotel in Chicago, I got it. I know. It's my summer too. I know. Oh, coffee. Back. Coffee. Oh, I got a compiler error. What did I do wrong? Toolkey. Toolkey. Blah, blah, blah. 2354. That's what happens when you... Oh, actually, I don't. I already got Toolkey. What else just gone wrong? 2387. What? I didn't even touch that code. You're so mean to me. Variable content launch is already defined. 2380. Oh. Oh, well. I got these variable, got to fix that. That should fix them all. 2398. I can't fix. I gotta fix that one. 2398. Oh, that's okay. Wrong type. Okay. 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 So all we really have tested at this point is that when we pop this up, that's okay. So yeah. So these will work. This is going to throw that error. If all goes well, this will launch where it's supposed to launch. Cancel. And this will throw a not implemented error, which is exactly right. So that code works. If I was... Not implemented, so I wish there's like a short throw not implemented, like throw not implemented, but don't freak everybody out because I meant to do it. Well, that means all that code I wrote worked the first time, which is nice. So now my problem here is, in effect, what I need to do. This is a weird thing. Who knows if this is a brilliant strategy or not. I gotta go to this, do content item editor handle. So this here, content item editor handle, is what is the post receiver when I'm doing the, you know, when I'm doing this. Bing, bing. It's the post receiver, right? This is what it's receiving. The post receiver. It's receiving the post from the external content selector out there. Yeah, got me. So it has to do things like find a tool, set up all kinds of things, yada yada. So this doesn't matter. We already know what the tool is. We already have a tool. This part we've got. Parse and validate incoming item. We already got that. We got this. We need to extract the content item from rack props. Right here. But there might be a better way to do this. Yeah, remember this. Sure, it's doing that. But in reality, I might find that the code that fits me better is this one right here. An external tool. Panel equals content config. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to be really happy. Oh, wait, but return URL. I'll come back to myself. So ID equals 1, return URL equals. Okay. Panel is content config. Content config. Switch panel. Do content item put. got this beautiful content config panel. Whoa. I can't use content item put. It's too specialized. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to hopefully send it to the configuration panel. And we'll see what happens. It's not like I can't like reformat my okay. Reply done. Cancel. Let's go back to assignments and see how bad it gets. Now I should just click on this. It blows up badly. Why is it so it's not good enough. So whatever I redirect it to, let me do something here. View developer console. So whatever that. It's network. Clear them all, and then click on this Zap guy. What's this? It's not enough. So something I'm missing. It makes it so I don't get to the URL is not good enough. Whatever the URL is, it's not good enough. Oh, yeah, it might help if I made that a question mark. If I made that a question mark, it might help. Nothing's going to happen without that being a question mark. Get parameters. Oh, lordy. Oh, it could be nice. It's no fun to like, oh, surprise, surprise. It looked pretty good. I wish it would have blown up in a different way. Okay, redeployed. Let's hit refresh. Let's see what we get. That's okay. Yeah, I'm in the helper. I'm in the helper. Chaka, 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 chaka. Where the hell's the helper at? Okay, so I can get to that content config. So I need to make a string, return URL equals http .com/drchuck.com. So I'll save. Well, I hit save. I can't. What? How can it hurt? So I'm in LTI content. So I believe what'll happen when I do save in LTI content is I'm going to get a new one of these guys, but then I'm going to not have a good place to return because I sent it to go back to drchuck.com. So it'll make it, and then I'm redirected to drchuck.com with an item ID of BLTI6. What the freak? Yeah. I'm going to have to. But if I rebrowse, you'll see that I made a 6th one of these things. So the config did its job, and it gave me back on this URL the LTI item ID. Got it. Okay. So now I got to make a return URL called content item post config or something like that. This is going to be actually the hardest part of this. This is working pretty well so far. So that knows whether there's needed configuration. It makes it if it does it, takes care of all that, and then returns to me something. Build. CK editor post config. Panel context. So, return URL is going to look like the config URL, except it's going to be CK editor post config. Does this look good? We'll deal with our stuff. Well, no, let's do one more thing. All right, let's get parameter. Yes, Erlog does it. Okay, so let's go in here. Back to Sakai. Still logged in. Mercury site. Announcements. Go here. Go there. So you're going to see if we're going to return, which means you'll see a print statement and then a redirect to drchuck.com. And there we go. We got this ID of BLTL7. So that's good. This is going to be somewhat ugly. Because in effect we are faking well, let's just start where we can start. If on id.length greater than 0 or id not equal null and id dot starts with walk on. And okay, so now I can test that. Just make sure this echo is right. Doesn't want to test for that. Okay. Now I'm gonna find post content. This guy right here. frick? Panel not there at all. That's interesting. Then submit. Look at that. Right there. Okay. Okay, so We'll just redirect to it. It's not gonna, this is not what we want to do. But it's just an ironic thing. This is gonna be much, I got a lot of work still to do here, but because I got to fake up a JSON request. Oh, typographical error. 2429. 2429. Semicolon, yeah. Java doesn't let you make many mistakes, and I like that about Java. Not good. Oh, well, yeah. So I'll just try to do that from memory. / too long. Get long. Okay, that's what it is. You can only go so far with the mnemonics of your own things. I just love my code. I love working in my own code. A lot of people like that. Okay, so let's see if we can redeploy. Come back. Redeploy me? Yes, we redeployed. Okay, so goodbye. Go back. Refresh. Check a tool. Go to this guy we're building right here. Yay, let's make it be a that. Yep. And then launched right, launched to that. Okay. Now we need to get a little trickier. Okay. My evil hacker, who's always in a hurry. To pass this back to the text editor, we must provide to the text editor a content item response. I guess I can show you how this works. If I view network console, I mean, this is something I wrote like a week and a half ago. Go to network, clear everything, go here, go to a store. This part's going to work. Details, it sends back a bunch of JSON. Install content, and then if I say OK, you're going to see a well, I'll figure out what I'm doing. So at some point there's something going to be up here, and then kind of a close happens, the window close. So don't do that. Boom. What just happened? Oh, wait. Wait a sec. Oh, so, I know what has to happen. I know what's going to happen. I got to do a view source on that guy. I got to look at the source of this window. So I am going to have to create viewFrame source. What was that? Man, that didn't work so well. I don't think I can, because the damn view frame source is spec. Oh, okay. It's right here. So see, I got to build all this stuff. Returned content item. Right. Okay, so I'm going to need to remember this bit right here. Okay, just remember this. I'm going to put this in the thing. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I've been going for about 1 hour and 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop streaming for now, and I'll come back to this. And we will be in this code right here, figuring out how to basically generate a little page with some JavaScript and some JSON in the page. And then when OK happens, it's going to, before the iframe goes away, it actually pulls this return content item out. And that's how I pass it back. And so I can manufacture that more elegantly. I can make a class to do it, or I can just slam things in a string. The question is, do I hack it, or do I make it elegant? Do I make reusable code, or do I just win temporarily? So that will be, I'll walk around for a bit and I'll think through that. Think how elegantly I want to do this. It doesn't always have to be the most elegant way. If it works, it works. And sometimes if you put too much elegance in, no one can figure out what you did. If you make it less elegant, then always people can make it more elegant. So we shall see. We shall see. A little time off, doing something else, walking around thinking about this problem is a perfect thing to do right now. Nice thing about open source, no one told me I have to finish this by noon today. I can finish it when my brain figures it out. Because this whole purpose was to explore and look at new features. And so I'm just finding ways to add features to this that I think will be cool. It's also nice being both a software developer and a teacher. Because I don't build things that I'm going to hate as a teacher, and as a software developer I want them to be as elegant and simple as possible. And as a software developer I want them to be as flat and understandable as possible. So welcome to open source. Cheers.